Hello guys, welcome to Rebuild Academy. My name is Adil Momin and I welcome you to the introductory part of our series From Virus to Vaccine. Let's fight infodemic. In this video, we are going to talk about what is infodemic and details related to it. After which, we will talk about the need of creating such a series, and in the end, we will talk about what this series contains. Okay then, let's begin. So let us begin with the term infodemic. It is a portmanteau word which is a combination of two words. Smoke, for example, is derived by combining the words smoke and fog, and Eurasia is a combination of Europe and Asia. Similarly, an infodemic is a combination of information and an epidemic. The World Health Organization describes an infodemic as an abundance of information and the rapid transmission of false or misleading news, photos, and videos. As a result, you can consider infodemic as an excess of information both online and offline. People's access to the internet and use of various social media platforms has increased dramatically, allowing them to freely share their opinions, experiences, news, and promotions. As a result, we can all quickly and easily obtain helpful information. But it is also true that inaccurate, distorted, unverified, fake, and misleading information is reaching millions of people fast and effortlessly. This information could be misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation. Let's learn about them one by one. Misinformation is false information that is not published to inflict harm, such as when someone posts an article that contains now out of date information without realizing it. Incorrect photo captions, dates, and translations can also lead to misinformation. Disinformation is false information that is intentionally spread to harm an individual, social group, institution, or country. As a result, disinformation basically consists of lies with no element of truth. For example, a competitor may purposefully release misleading statistics about another company to defame it. Conspiracy theories and rumors are both sources of disinformation. Malinformation, on the other hand, is the information that is true but is utilized to hurt a person, organization, or country. As a result, it might be the intentional release of private data for personal or corporate gain rather than public benefit, such as revenge porn. Malinformation can also be caused by a deliberate manipulation in the context, date, or time of legitimate content. For example, someone could use a photo of a dead child refugee with no context to incite hatred towards a specific ethnic community. Regardless of classification, the infodemic is making it increasingly difficult to combat the pandemic. Excessive information commonly causes confusion and makes it harder to make accurate judgments in timely manner, which can be disastrous at some times. It can also create mental health problems such as anxiety and depression. The infodemic is a worldwide phenomenon, with information ranging from global conspiracy theories concerning the artificial production of the coronaviruses to rumors about the vaccine causing infertility. While huge global initiatives have been established to combat the pandemic, side projects are being launched to mitigate the impact of infodemic. The WHO has been working with key social media platforms such as Facebook, Google, Twitter, and YouTube to combat fake news. Any positive results are significant, especially given that there are 4.5 billion social media users worldwide, accounting for about 57% of the total global population, with an annualized growth rate of 13%. Similarly, activities for fact checking have been established at the national, media, and civil society levels. Given the media's credibility deficit, such activities are desperately needed, and it is time to connect the dots of small, scattered projects of false news checkers to create a massive response equal to the issue of infodemic. Honest communication of uncertainty ensures that People continue to place their trust in growing scientific data, which leads to updating public health guidelines. It is critical to engage with local communities to convey relevant, understandable, and credible information. There is a need to apply innovation and creativity for effective scientific communication, given that people consume information in a variety of formats via multiple channels using both online and offline approaches. Now, when discussing the need for such a series, it is essential to recognize that even authentic information available through various mediums is massive in quantity and highly scattered and disordered. To correctly understand everything, the first and most crucial thing is the sequence of concepts. That's the reason why learning math, arithmetic is first taught and then algebra, right? Therefore, we have attempted to organize the genuine information in such a manner that you would understand all of the core concepts without feeling like you might be missing something. This series consists of 15 parts. We will start with as basic as organism because it all boils down to life and living things, right? Then we will discuss health and diseases with a special focus on infectious diseases. After which we will talk about concepts related to infectious diseases such as chain of infection, how it works, pathogen replication cycle, different stages and phases of infections, and their characteristics. We have tried to prepare a base for a more specific discussion on viral infections by doing this more generalized discussion. We will learn about pathogens, especially viruses, their structure and functions. In our discussion related to viruses, we will try to explore the structure of viruses and their major components. We will also talk about how viruses mutate and what these changes mean in their functioning. After this, more of a generalized discussion on viruses, we will specifically talk about coronaviruses, their structure, major parts, and mutations, which leads to the formation of different variants and strains. What's the difference between variants and strains? In short, there's a lot to discuss. After completing coronaviruses, we will start discussing COVID 19. We will discuss in detail starting from respiratory tract infection, diagnosis methods, including RT PCR and rapid antigen test and their working, then treatment strategies, in which we will discuss preventive, symptomatic, and curative treatment methods. Also, we will deal in depth with the concepts of immunization, starting from its history, development, different vaccine types, vaccine making procedure, and approval mechanism. What is emergency use authorization, vaccine side effects, what is efficacy, and also herd immunity. All these aspects will be covered and most importantly in proper sequence. So, after completing the diagnosis and treatment of COVID, we will talk about post COVID conditions like long COVID and PTSD, that is, post traumatic stress disorder. And then finally, we will talk about pandemics. What is a pandemic? Different stages of pandemic. We will also discuss the pandemic severity assessment framework, in which we will learn about reproduction number, case fatality rate, and infection fatality rate. We will try to understand what these parameters mean and how they are calculated. And lastly, we will talk about what is mental health, common mental disorders, their diagnosis, and treatment methods. Also, we will discuss mental health awareness, possible approaches and strategies to educate the general masses about mental health. In the end, we will try to understand the link between COVID and mental health issues and some approaches to deal with it. So, in this way, the complete series is organized and arranged to give a holistic view of all the matters related to COVID. We have tried to cover all the major aspects from organism to mental health. So, this concludes our introductory discussion. There is one point that I want to highlight here, and I am going to tell this in every video. The order of the series parts is extremely crucial. You will understand all the concepts and get a clear picture of everything only if you watch the series in order. Therefore, I would highly encourage you to use the playlist for this purpose. The link is given in the description. I welcome you to the series From Virus to Vaccine. Let's fight infodemic. Let's meet in the first part of the series. So, that's all for now. Stay safe, stay connected.